Welcome, this is Nathan and welcome back to another video. In today's video we're going to continue to take a look at Scenario where Civilization Restarts. Episode 52. We're getting deep into this series. In the last video we saw Persia unite into Mesopotamia. The Chocolate team invaded the Cyan team, which led tensions in Europe to rise pretty high. Probably as high as since World War III. We also learned that a bunch of different countries had joined together to basically like a democracy front. If you don't remember the countries, and I'll bring this up. If you don't remember the countries, it was Mesopotamia, the Algerians, Celtic Union, Finland, America, Siberia, and I think Vietnam. Can't forget Vietnam. I think the South Chinese Union was actually part of it. Was the South Chinese Union part of it? I actually don't remember. But all these countries came together to basically say, we need to stop the spread of fascism. Are we going to see them do that in this video? Who knows? What we are going to see is the fascists expanding. Why am I turning this light off? I need to get rid of some circles because some countries don't exist. Most importantly, we're coming over to this Central Asian country. The one right in the middle, the big yellow team. They are having elections, and it's kind of tearing their country apart. Unlike most elections where one guy wins, two people are very popular, and the problem is, these two people are so popular that the votes are so neck and neck that they can't really decide if, the one guy's going to be leader or the other guy's going to be leader. Now, who are those leaders? Well, it's a fascist and a democracy guy. Yeah, that's very interesting. And I wonder who's funding, I'll say it. What we actually see happening here is kind of a proxy war. Now, look, I know proxy wars are like in the Cold War, like somebody would fund one side, somebody would fund the other, but that's what we have happening here, because Mesopotamia and India are both funding these two. India's funding the fascist, Mesopotamia's funding the Democrat. It is very weird, and it's making tensions between India and Mesopotamia rise. The world is looking at this and like, please do not escalate into another world war. We do not need that. But anyway, the yellow team is going to be breaking in half. They can't decide on a leader, and they're just going to break in half. I have no idea what colour to use. We haven't really got cyan around here. Let's do a cyan. Right, I'm going to take this down to 3. So, the yellow team will break in half, and, chaos is gonna be unleashed. This rebel group will immediately send their troops in, and it's not a rebel group, it's a whole area declaring its independence. They push in, and almost immediately, Mesopotamia's like, oh, okay, we should probably not want to rise. We shouldn't really want to rise tensions, shall we? So Mesopotamia goes over to the yellow team and is like, hey, just let them free. Yes, there will be another fascist country in the world, but just let them free. And that's exactly what we see happening. We're going to just quickly draw the border between them. Just like that, we have a new country. The reason that this country got away so easy was because Mesopotamia knew if these two started fighting, India would continue funding the fascists, and they don't really want a fascist country in Central Asia. Because, well, if you look here, that's the wrong layer. If you look here, you've already got 3 fascist countries in Europe. You don't really need Europe? This is not Europe. Where did Europe come from in my head? You've already got 3 fascist countries in Asia. Why am I forgetting this? If you had a 4th one right here, that would border one of your allies. And also, who knows? Maybe they even the communists. I don't even know what the communists are doing at this rate. They're kind of doing their own thing. Now, India has some suspicion that Mesopotamia was the one who funded the Democratic guy. I'm not going to draw the circles because I don't think there's a point. Just remember, Democrat, fascist. India and Mesopotamia both look at each other and go, did you fund that? Did you fund that rebellion? Or, did you fund that side? And nobody knows. I mean, nobody knows. But India has a suspicion that Mesopotamia did it, and Mesopotamia has a suspicion that India did it. And with this, troops now line the border. They were already here. It was already pretty tense here. But India mobilizes more of their army and sends it onto the border. Not only that, naval vessels of the Indians are now seeing more and more activity in this part of the Indian Ocean, which is scary, to say the least. Anyway, over to the, probably the only fascist country who has not had any consequences for their actions, Red Australia. Hold on a minute. Anyway, continuing on, Red Australia is going to be invading another country. Yep, they're going to get away with it. Now, the country they're invading, it's going to be interesting, because they have ties. This country's going to be New Zealand. Now, if you remember, I highly doubt you do, when World War II ended, Red Australia got their independence away from New Zealand. Got their independence from, I have no idea, I don't know who they got their independence from, but New Zealand was part of them, that's what I'm trying to say. But then they peacefully split, but now this dictator wants them back. And I'm sorry, whoever likes this country, they ain't stand a chance against this. Troops will land in the north here and begin to push down straight to the capital. Another naval landing will take place here, which begins to expand out. They cut off a huge area down here, which takes out a lot of resource for land. And from this point, we see a massive area, massive amount of troops just flood into the capital and take it. And New Minster, yeah, that gets taken. To be honest, they're gone. I'm sorry, whoever liked this country. They were chill. They did nothing. I don't think they did anything. I don't think I ever mentioned them except for their independence. So they're gone now. And at this point, Australia's like, well, we're next, aren't we? And, they probably are. Because, well, you can see that there isn't really anywhere else for where Australia's going. I mean, maybe continue going into Indonesia, but that might lead to, a union or something. Anyway, over to Europe. Because, tensions here are getting pretty tense. Now, what I mean tensions? Well, I mean tensions between these three fascist countries, the Celtic Union and Poland and the Green Team. Or Czechia? I'm going to call it Czechia. Yeah, tensions between all these countries are getting really high. Higher, getting to the point near, World War III area. And the world is just scared to death. The neutral countries of the world are looking at this and well, there's going to be another world war, isn't there? We'll see. Anyway, the Chocolate Team is going to do an invasion, which is definitely not going to go very well, and not be very people are not going to be a fan of it. They invade Denmark. Now, why? Well, because Denmark has control over this area, which, money. So, ports and all that. So they enter in, and I'm sorry, again, this is a top 3 country we're talking about the Chocolate Team. Do you really think that no old Denmark stands a chance? No, they don't. Now this is kind of that's kind of like the last country that the Chocolate Team can invade, because, well, now their tensions are even higher. If they were to invade another country, that would most likely be a coalition. But anyway, we got to talk about something. An event which nobody saw coming. Not even the fascists saw coming. But in March of 2017, Mesopotamia, America, Algeria, Celtic Union, Poland, the Green Team, the South Chinese Union, China, Siberia, the Green Team, Vietnam, and Green Australia all meet up. Oh, Finland, can't forget them. They all meet up in the capital of the Celtic Union. They begin talking about the fascists and how they have treated their people and how they've treated the way the other countries and how they've expanded recklessly and there's been no punishment. But it's about time that punishment is served. So, it's time for the Coalition of Freedom. All the countries that have a red line in them have come together to end the fascist countries. Now, which fascist countries are they gonna take down? Well, they have them in mind. All these countries will declare war on India and the Chocolate Team. But, the Chocolate Team has an alliance. And it's not an attack one, attack all alliance. But these two countries have become so controlled by the Chocolate Team that they're going to join. So let's bring out a new colour, lime. These countries are part of the fascist side. So as you can see, we have all these countries, but that's not it. This guy's going to be joining. And Red Australia decides to join. Along with this light blue team joining, we see these two join, and for finally the last thing we see happening is the pink team and the Turkish join the side of the fascists as well. World War IV has just begun. The neutral countries of the world are terrified. All of the strongest countries in the world, the fascists and the democracies of the world, are going to collide with each other as we see the democracies of the world try and free the people once and for all, while the fascists try and take over everything. And I like to welcome you to World War IV, the War of Freedom. That's going to do it for this video. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in World War IV.